Today we're going to be looking at the LG G2 OLED evo Gallery Edition TV. This TV has been designed to be wall mounted, and it even includes its own custom wall mount bracket so that you can hang this on your wall and have a really elegant solution. Those of you that cannot wall mount this TV, LG does sell a separate tabletop stand that will swivel and tilt. It's actually pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to check it out myself. Now, if you don't want to use one of LG's stands, you have a lot of third-party options available to you. That's the route that I went. So I went with something that was more of like a rolling stand, as you can see right here. And it's actually a pretty good solution. It was about 60 bucks. I'll link it in the description below, as well as the TV itself. And if you guys are buying anything at all from those websites, it will help out the channel. So thank you so much. Now briefly, I just want to talk about the unboxing process. Well, I ordered this from Walmart.com, so my unboxing was a little bit different. They ended up putting the box inside of a box for extra protection. Now, honestly, I appreciate this because that ensures that nothing was damaged during shipping, though I imagine that you would be pretty fine with this TV in the regular G2 box because this TV is very sturdy. It is one of the most solid built TVs that I've felt in my entire life. And to back that up, when I was unboxing the TV, there is a wall mounting bracket at the top. I lifted that out of the box and it slipped out of my hand and fell directly onto the top bezel of the TV. Now this wall mount bracket actually has some pretty decent weight to it. So I thought maybe there would be some damage, and turns out there was not even a mark. That's pretty good build quality. I feel like if I would have dropped that on just about any other OLED TV, well, let's just say the results might have been a little bit different. So no doubt about it, the build quality is fantastic. Now, the whole setup process of this TV, when it comes to wall mounting it, I didn't do that myself, but judging from the video demo, it doesn't seem too difficult. Alright, now let's talk about what makes this TV different from the LG G2. What are you getting when you jump from the C2 to the G2? Well, it's not just going to be the wall mount solution here. You're getting a 5-year warranty as well, which I figure is a really good option for a lot of people because so many people are afraid of burn-in. So I think those of you that are thinking about buying a C2 as well as a 5-year warranty, that's a no-brainer solution for me to just get the G2. Now, what about those of you that don't really care about the warranty too much and you're going to get a C2? What are you gaining if you get the G2 over the C2? Well, let's talk about one of the biggest benefits about the G2, and that is the Brightness Booster Max technology from LG. Not to be confused with the Brightness Booster technology, the Brightness Booster Max technology, this is actually a heat dissipation technology that is built right into the G2 itself, and it is not available on the C2. So this is something to keep in mind. So what are the benefits and what are you getting from this ultimately? Well, you're going to get the TV to be able to get brighter than ever, and you're also going to have a more efficient display, and you'll have less image retention as a result of this. So temporary image retention is when you have a image displayed on the TV for a pretty decent time, and after the fact you still see it after that image goes away. Now most of the time this fades away fairly quickly, but there are going to be some aspects where it sticks around longer than a few seconds, and for this all you have to do is usually run a panel refresh and it will be able to go away. Now this is pretty rare for that to happen, and honestly a lot of people think this is burn-in when they see that happen. So G2 users actually don't have to worry about either burn-in or image retention for the most part. The reason why they don't have to worry about the image retention is because the heat dissipation technology that is built into the G2 actually does a pretty good job of limiting that for the most part. You shouldn't really run into image retention on regular viewing circumstances. And of course, those of you that have that permanent fear, you do have the 5-year warranty to ease your mind. Now, this is one thing that I have to say about LG G2. The total package that you get with the LG G2 actually isn't too bad. So you get a wall mount bracket, and you also get a 5-year warranty from LG. If you did these two things separately with the C2 at this 55-inch size, there's a chance that you spend more money than just getting the G2 outright. So if you are going to go that route, just get the G2. It's smarter and it's the way to go in my opinion if you're getting an LG OLED TV. Now let's talk about the Dynamic Tone Mapping Pro. What is this? So this is individual zone based dynamic tone mapping, and I believe you have to activate this feature by using AI Picture Pro and dynamic tone mapping at the same time. Now I don't really have a way to confirm this, but I did play around with it a bit and seen that the dynamic tone mapping does change when you engage the AI Picture Pro. Now remember, this is also available on the LG C2, though I was seeing better brightness levels out of the G2 when using this feature than I did with the C2, but that makes sense based on the Brightness Booster Max technology. So my first impressions of this TV, I have to say, I think it is definitely better than the C2. It is noticeably better, especially when you use Dynamic Tone Mapping Pro. When you don't use Dynamic Tone Mapping, I think that you're probably going to see a similar result to the C2 most of the time, though it still does get brighter in the highlights, and that is something that I did notice. Now for gamers, you're definitely going to see the difference between the C2 and the G2. I think the G2 does a very good job at gaming so far. My first impressions with gaming, I think it's excellent. There are a few gripes that I have that's just kind of an LG OLED thing when it comes to gaming, but for the most part, most gamers will be satisfied with the way that this TV performs, especially if they're somebody who likes to use the dynamic tone mapping option. Now, that's not everybody though, so I understand that. But don't worry, that's one of the things I will cover in the LG G2 dedicated gaming review that I will be doing. I will also be doing a full review on this TV, so don't worry about that. Now, remember, this is my first impressions, and I've only spent maybe like 10 hours with the TV, so a lot of my opinions can change. And now it's time to answer one of the biggest questions that you guys had for me regarding the G2. Now the biggest request, the biggest comment that I got was, how does it compare to the QD-OLED displays? Well, I have to say both displays have some saturation out of the box, especially in the reds. Most content looks fairly the same. As far as color goes, as far as the actual natural look of the image, it looks really identical. When it comes to highlights, that's where the separation is, and honestly the impact for HDR is much better on the S95B, but the thing that separates it is going to be how bright the colorful highlights can get without fading away, unlike the G2, which does struggle with some more colorful highlights. So the color volume is definitely in the favor of the S95B. So while it's clear to me in the 55 and 65 inch range, the Quantum Dot OLED is going to be the choice, if you're getting a bigger TV and you're not getting a 55 or 65 inch TV, the LG G2 is a great solution. I got this question as well. I would not consider a 65 inch QD-OLED over a 77 inch LG G2. It's clear to me the LG G2 is the brightest WRGB OLED that I've seen so far, and if it wasn't for the QD-OLED technology, we'd be talking about the LG G2 a lot more. LG did a really good job on this display, and I like the build quality overall. I have to say, my first impressions are very good for this TV. I can't wait to do the side-by-side with the S95B all throughout the week. I'll probably do some streams about it, and I'll also have a dedicated video on it as well. I'll compare it to the A80J as well, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel, subscribe for more content just like this. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos comparing TVs or reviewing TVs, check out the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.